Here's an explanation of what you'll be doing. First of all, you're going to be assembling a book using files that I send you. You will use this as your model. And this file is called Model for Assembling Now What Book. Even though it says it's the Now What book, you'll use it for this particular instance called Divorce 911. So first of all, since this is a model we're following, notice that the first page is blank. So when you assemble all the files, the first page will be blank because you are doing exactly what this model has set up to be. Now where the title page is, where it says Now What, you're going to put this instead, Divorce 911, and that's subhead, and then of course Seven Falls Publishing, just like it is here. Then you'll have this next page that you'll put in the book that you're assembling. Put all of this information in there. These items that are yellow, when you put them in, make sure that those are highlighted yellow, and this too. And the reason for that is so we know on this end that we need to change some things, so the yellow will stand out and alert us. The next thing you put in there is this again, the same title page. You do it just like you did before, as this here. And then you're going to use Andy R. Curry. You'll put that in there just like that. Then the next page you'll put this and be sure to highlight it yellow. The next page you're going to have this. The book was made possible by tips from the following. You're going to use a spreadsheet to show you exactly how the attribution would be. So when you put Andrew Vaughn in there, you can put Andrew Vaughn, attorney at law. Notice that this one says the law offices of John D. Rogers. This is how they want their attribution, and this is how this person wants their attribution. This is how this one wants it, and so on. So that's how you put them in there. Be sure to alphabetize them as you put them in, and you'll put them in this column first and then this column over here next. And so when you get that done, if you have to use another page, go ahead and do it. And notice that the page after this one here is blank, and so is that one. And then you're going to have the contents page. Here are the contents. Notice this says Guide to Assemble Now What Book for Divorce 911. These are what the contents will look like, and this is what you use here. What if someone's getting divorced? What if someone is fighting custody, etc.? Now notice we have page numbers here. Those page numbers are only here on this guide to show you how that's going to look. You will have to put in the page numbers according to wherever they are. And so, like this one says, what if someone is getting divorced? It'll be page whatever it is. And then you're going to have tip from, and where the X's are, you're going to put those X's in there. Those X's will be the attribution like you're using before. So this tab here says divorce in general. And so this is getting divorced, so this would be divorced in general. We'll go right here. So this would say tip from, and then you would put in Andrew Vaughn. Then the next one would be tip from Bob Downs. The next one would be tip from Miles Bierman, etc. Go ahead and alphabetize those and make sure that they're all on their correct page. Now as far as putting them on their page, we'll go over that here momentarily. Now something I want you to be sure and see is notice how this is nicely formatted. They've got the dots from the word forward. See these dots all the way over to the page number. And notice how the page numbers, they all align correctly on the right hand side of the page. So it has to look real nice, just like this does. The tips from whomever the law office is need to be bolded just like this. So make it exactly, it needs to look exactly like this. Next we're going to put a forward in. And the forward, go ahead and insert this exactly just like it is here, but I want you to turn that yellow when you put it into the new book that you're assembling. Then you're going to start with chapter 1. You'll type it in exactly like this, with the dots below it exactly like that. Then you're going to have the big takeaway. You're going to copy this exactly like that, so you could take this page and put it in the new book you're assembling. Then you go to the next page, which would be this here. Now where it says now what, right here, you're going to put divorce 911 instead. Now when you put this page in, go ahead and copy all that in there and turn that yellow so I know what to change there. Then you go to the next chapter, chapter 2, and you do the exact same thing here. You'll copy that and these little dots below it, and then it says what if someone is arrested for assault. Here is where you'll come to this guide and you'll put instead in what if someone is getting divorced. So you would instead put that right here. And then here you're going to put tips from, and then you will simply put in the tips that you're given from these people here. So let's say that Andrew Vaughn was the first one we were going to put in there. So this would say tip from, not tips, but tip from Andrew Vaughn, attorney at law. And then you'll have the file to copy all that in here. Make it look nice and neat as it is in here. And make sure that the title is bolded and that it's 14 font, that it's Times New Roman, and that you have an indentation here. This is not to be a large capital letter for the first one. We want it just like this. And then for the next paragraph, exactly that same format. So it's justified on the left and the right. And over here, notice it says assault. And so what you can put over here for this chapter is getting divorced. So instead of assault, you can put in getting divorced. When you go to the next one, you can use child custody, and the one after that, child support, and the one after that, spousal maintenance. So when we go to the next one, here's a tip from Julia Jane. Now notice there's a blank page right after Julia Jane, and then it goes to this one here, and then it goes to chapter 3. In this case, chapter 3 would be what if someone is fighting for child custody, and that would go here in place of that. And so you just go through and do that same thing again. The next chapter after this, of course, this is chapter 4, what if someone's arrested for domestic violence. On ours over here, you would put what if someone is fighting for child support, and you would put that here instead. And again, where this here it says domestic violence, you would put child support. Always put the page numbers as well, and you just keep doing that all the way through the entire book. And when you get to the end, here's the end of the book. As you can see, it's the same all the way through, the same format, and the last page is just like that. If you have any questions, be sure to ask. Thank you.